start off, we're going to talk about, we have a new look CFB playoff. 12-team playoff just got approved. And by the way, as of recently, they're already discussing expanding to a 14-team playoff in 2026, which is just kind of breaking as we talk about this here right now. I was like looking at some of the details of the new 12-team playoff, and all of a sudden it's like most discussions are continuing. 14-team playoff starting in 2026. But let's dive into the first one first. The playoff board managers unanimously approved the model that will guarantee 5 highest ranked conference champions inclusion into the expanded 12-team field this fall, along with the next 7 highest ranked teams. They announced this on Tuesday. So, this has been kind of one of those things that has been floated around there. It's been talked about for, years and what it would look like. And they have a blueprint that they're putting together. This format was proposed before the Pac-12 lost USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon to the Big Ten, Cal, Stanford, and ACC, to the ACC, Utah, Arizona State, and Colorado to the Big 12. So, there's been a lot of shifting in the process as all this as well. But, Scotty, what are your initial thoughts on everything happening with this and all the details surrounding it?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of already happening. They just changed it mostly because of the Pac-12 basically doesn't get their free bid like they were before, because I don't know the Pac-12 conference. It's hard to have a 2-team conference. I know they don't have a, but I'm for it, Chris. I'm for the 12-team playoff. Of course, now what we're going to get, Chris, in the 12-team, the top 4 teams get a bye, which is huge. And so that fifth ranked team that wins their conference, obviously is just going to be irate that they have to play an extra game, and that's where the controversy is going to come in, and as well as the 13th place team. But I do like that they're putting an emphasis on you have to win your conference in order to get that bye, to be one of the top 5 teams, and to get a bye, the top 4 teams, you have to win your conference. There can't be multiple teams from a conference getting byes. I don't care if the top 2 teams are in the SEC or Big Ten. I like that it puts an emphasis on that conference championship game still and getting that bye. They put out more of the details, like that first round of games will be at the higher seed home field. So like the 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds will get home field advantage in that first round. So that'll be a big advantage for them before they play a lot of those New Year's Six bowls in that next round. So in the quarterfinals, I suppose you call it. But that'll be interesting. I mean, Chris, I think it's good for football. I know you don't want to see a conference championship that's meaningless, but it's not meaningless if you can get a bye, right? Like that puts an emphasis on it. So that kind of corrects a little bit of what that scenario is. Now, I heard Notre Dame fans up in arms because guess what? Hard to be a conference champion when you're not in a conference.
You're independent, yeah. You
know what? They can't get a free pass while not having to play a conference championship game as well. So I don't feel bad for them. Join a conference if you want that bye. But overall, I think it's good for college football. I'm excited to see this 12-team format. A lot of different games, a lot of different matchups where everything's on the line. I'm intrigued. I don't want it to go beyond this. So going to like 14 when we haven't even started 12 and we're already talking about 14 seems silly to me. I think 12 is pretty much the max that I would want to go to. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Also, too, a change they are close to agreeing on, according to some sources, is eliminating contracts. The contracts the New Year's Six bowls have with the respective conferences and the new contract that they're designing. So Sugar Bowl has a historical agreement with the SEC and Big 12, while the Rose Bowl has a long tenure with Big 10, Pac-12, Orange Bowl with the ACC, Big 10, and Notre Dame. So that's going to be eliminated from what the sources are saying as well. So Yeah, so those are going to be on the outs from what it sounds like. But yeah, and then again, as of tonight, while we were going on, 14 team playoff is going to potentially be the next bump, as opposed to a 16 team that has also been thrown out there as well. But yeah, a lot of changes coming. What do you guys think? We got Chairman. I'm not a fan of the playoff buys in college or NFL.
I mean, what this comes down to for me, and SCG says I'm in the minority that loves the top four. It gets people heated. It does. But, like, I don't know. I mean, the bowl season has lost luster. People no longer care nearly as much about any game outside of those, the semis and the finals that have been occurring in the college football playoff. They've just lost their luster a little bit. So this gives a lot more games with a lot more intrigue because there's national championship implications on
it. Get wrecked for being independent. But we know what this is, though. Maximum money gains. I mean,
yeah,
it's all about money, especially college football, college sports. It's always been about money like this.
Well, all sports are about money.
Yeah.
The bottom line is about what's going to be most profitable. Why did the NBA do a meaningless end-season tournament? About the money. And that's fine. And it got some intrigue. And listen, I don't care if it's a moneymaker if it makes it more interesting, in my opinion. And this provides more games that have big implications, in my opinion. So I'm for it.
Every year there's a debate in every sport with playoff buys about whether it's even good for the team that gets the bye. Well, yeah, because it's whether or not you're going rusty, whatever. But I think generally, it could go one of two ways depending on. I mean, sometimes it hurts you, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on how each team approaches it. Yeah, how team approaches it, right?
Are your players doing the right things and getting ready to play, or are they messing around? And you never know, and how it'll work out. But
I mean, you could also make the argument that the team coming in hot off of their previous win, going into a game that the other team is resting, is just on a better momentum from that previous game, whether it was a close one or whether. I mean, there's a lot of there's so many variables that go into it that you can't really just break it down and say it's a positive or a negative one way or the other.
I mean, I think more often than not, it's a positive. Anybody's going to take a bye if it's offered to them. That's a head coach. If you're like, I can have a bye, or I can play this game because I'm worried about the rhythm of my team. You're taking a bye every single time. So it's better off. Now, some teams don't react well to it and come out flat after it. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, and to SGG's point about people getting heated with the Final Four, people get heated with college basketball and teams that don't make the tournament, and that has 68 teams in it. So people will still get heated. Yeah. They'll still get heated. Someone, the 13th team, will be screwed and robbed, and they should have got in over this team and that team. There will still be that.
You could expand.
Because it is human nature to just be angry. Right? And to get mad about something, especially in the world today. If you're not mad about something, you're in the minority, because people are mad each and every day about something.
You could expand the NCAA tournament, March Madness, to 124 teams, and all of a sudden, the 125th team is going to be pissed because they don't make it. And it's just like...
And they'll talk about it, and you'll listen, and you'll be like, you're right. They should have got in. They deserve a shot at the title with being the 125th best team in the country.
And now we're in participation trophy territory here, is what we're saying. Let's be real.
And Chairman, this will actually be more intriguing because it's twofold, because there will be a lot of heated arguments over the teams that get buys, and then there will be heated arguments over, who finishes 13th versus 12th.
Yeah.
Now, what this didn't, and maybe I missed it, what this didn't guarantee, which I thought it would, is the highest ranked team from a non-power, I guess the Power 4 now conference, would be guaranteed a spot, which I thought that was a thing, and maybe it is, and I just missed it. I don't know. Which
Uh,
I do think should be in there. Give, it may not be exciting for the fans as much, but like guarantee one spot in the top 12 to a non-power 5 that's the highest ranked team in the country, and obviously should probably win their conference. But
yeah, so it says here the 4 highest ranked conference champions will get the top. After that, the 5th highest ranked conference champion is not guaranteed anything other than a spot in the field. If the 5th highest ranked conference champion is ranked behind the 7 at-large selections, it will be the number 12 seed.
12 seed. Okay, so it kind of does in a way, because there's only 4 Power 5 conferences. So saying 5 conference championships get automatic berths basically does that. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And then here, diving deeper, higher seeds in the first round host playoff games either at their home stadium or another location of the designation. After the first round, the 6 games that make up the quarterfinals and semifinals will be hosted by the traditional New Year's 6 bowl games: Rose, Sugar, Orange, Fiesta, Peach, and Cotton. Notre Dame, since it is not a conference member, will not be eligible for a top 4 seed regardless of ranking. The highest seed Notre Dame can have in the current format is number 5 seed. The Fighting Irish not only agreed to
value was lost.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Notre Dame being ranked number 1 in the polls and having to not they can't get a bye. They can't get a bye. Can't get it. That kind of be hilarious. And I'm not a Notre Dame hater. I know that's unusual, but I'm pretty neutral on Notre Dame. I don't cheer for them, but I don't hate them.
Well, the crazy part about this is Notre Dame is on this board that approved all this. The Fighting Irish not only agreed to this, but had an intimate role with this. Like the athletic director, Jack Swarbrick or whatever his name is, he helped craft this whole thing. So
yeah, I mean, he probably got outgunned and outmanned on that one.
I mean,
my point was almost wrong. It's basically the teams that are getting a bye are the winners of the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, and ACC. Like those teams are getting the bye. Whoever wins the conference championship there. Because that 5th conference champion is going to be from like the Mountain West, or I don't even know what
MAC.
The MAC would be
the South
possible, yeah, because you get every once in a while,
yeah,
the Big South, I think.
So interesting stuff, guys. And again, it's still evolving. So we're probably going to have more and more popping up here sooner rather than later on all the updates with details on things.
I'm glad, Chairman, that CBS took their time, and they already have a projected playoff of Notre Dame playing Michigan. I think it's the 5 and 7. No, the 5 would play the 12 seed in the first round. So the 4 teams get a bye. The 5 will play the 12. The 6 will play the 11. The 7 will play the 10. The 8 will play the 9. You guys, that makes sense, right?
Bracketology here. Bracketology 101. Speaking of bracketology, we're going to be getting closer and closer to March Madness, where we do our big bracket challenge. So keep an eye on that for that.
That's it. I guess the other thing I didn't see in this, and maybe is it bracketed, or is it kind of like the NFL playoffs, where the highest seed remaining then plays the best team remaining? Do we know?
Higher seed is I don't think it says specifically. I didn't see that specifically on this particular thing that I'm looking at. It doesn't dive into those that secondary level.
It'd be interesting to know. Like, I mean, what if a 12 beats a 5, and then now the 12, if it's bracketed, gets to play the 4 instead of the 1 seed getting to play that 12. I think it should be reseeded every round. I kind of like how the NFL does it personally, but a lot of the other ones do bracketed, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it here, so we'll have to find out. But there you go. New look college football playoff format is on the way.